Today I'm thinking of doing a sketchbook tour where I'm going to show you what's in one or two of these homemade sketchbooks that I have. So I thought of showing some of my sketchbooks from 2023, but I think you guys have already seen some of the stuff on my blog and videos recently. It would be more interesting if we just looked at some of the sketchbooks from my 2021 collection. I've forgotten what I've drawn in these, so it should be surprising to see for both of us. I have these sketchbooks wrapped up in this thing because Singapore is humid and I want to preserve the pages so they don't become spotty. So there's some vacuum packed. I'm going to just do this. So this is my January 2021 sketchbooks. I think it was still during the COVID times, and I'll just share what I was learning at that time. And remember, this is just practice stuff, so not everything is going to be great. So there's going to be the good and the bad, and this was just more for myself to learn. It's just me against me. Now you can see the cover. I just pasted one of my scrap drawings, my loose drawings, and it's one of the test papers where I think I was testing whether one of my fountain pens was working. I believe this was the Black Noodle, the one that I made. So I was testing the ink flow here. So it looks like this was a page from one of my it's an original drawing from one of my picture books for the Ministry of Education, done with watercolors and digitally put together. Oh right, I need to tell you what these sketchbooks are first. So okay, these are homemade sketchbooks and I staple them saddle stitch. Usually I just find lots of random paper that I have squirreled away in my dry box. For that month I'm thinking, okay, I want to use this watercolor paper or cartridge paper. I'll put it in. Or you can just check out my how to make a homemade sketchbook video on that. The first page is usually the hardest to start with, right? And this one I started with just drawing what's around me. Yeah, all these are very loosely drawn without pencil. I believe this is Yvonne, drew a bag on the floor, the table that I made, the cleaning robot, a whole bunch of stuff that was happening during January 2021. Oh yeah, at that time I was tempting myself by looking at watches being sold online. So I had to tell myself, I don't need something nicer, I already have a watch. Just diluted acrylic paints. And I was doing collage, and at that time I was interested in the Bauhaus movement and the Bauhaus philosophy. Really like Dieter Rheims' philosophy. One of my scrap drawings that I pasted and just colored over. Over here it looks like I just wanted to finish using some black ink. So I created this very moody, shadowy scenes with lots of solid blacks, and I finished that in Procreate or Photoshop. And this is interesting because it has a nice shape to it. I said that students don't know how to do rough sketches. That was the time where I was teaching at the art school. I noticed that students were just on the computer all the time and they don't really do sketches on paper. They could do more rough sketches because it just helps to generate ideas better when it's on paper rather than when you're staring at the screen. While here I just have a random stream of consciousness comic where I just draw with a pen and some simple washes. Sometimes it just flows from my subconscious and you can see I didn't really finish it. My daughter with a mask. Daughter, what's this? She's at the playground, she's scootering, she's eating. Here again is another one of my random comics where I'm thinking, okay, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna draw a scene. Sometimes it just flows out of my subconscious. And let's see, so this guy says crash landed, no tech here. I had to cobble together a watch from cockpit console parts. Oh, I think I was interested in making my own watch, but then later on I found out that it was a bit too challenging. This is the time, and it kind of tells the right time. I got 5 hours to build a new rocket lift engine. No plan B. So just trying to create some tension in there. I like to study the Bible, trying to go deeper. So sometimes I write down my thoughts, whether it's right or wrong, just for me to process and learn. Looks like this was when Ollie was trying to start primary 1. I was trying to capture the primary 1 experience of picking her up from school. But this comic tended to be too wordy, so I don't think I finished it. But still, it's captured here. This is just part of history, and just random scenes. Character designs for a story I had in mind with acrylic and fountain pen. Ideas to improve Zoom calls during the pandemic. Yeah, so this was at a park with my family, and I drew this very quickly. It looks like I did the lines in red color pencil first, very loosely, and then I painted it over. So when Ollie's tooth fell out, you can see I made a mistake here and I just pasted over. Knowing that I can paste over makes me worry less about making mistakes with ink, because ink can often sound very permanent. But if you can paste over or do a whiteout liquid paper correction, actually drawing with ink, it's not as scary as I thought after when I started practicing this. And of course I can always edit it digitally. Looks like somebody doing a multiverse jump. An idea to make a dip pen with a cap filled with ink all the time. But I don't think it works. It's just going to be a really messy thing. But you see, this is that's the beauty of sketchbooks, is where all the initial ideas go in, and from there when I refer to it again, maybe it might spark a more refined idea. So this is a parallel pen lines with watercolor or gouache. As you can see, I'm constantly practicing with different types of lines. I think it keeps me flexible as an illustrator. My practice also extends to improving my calligraphy when I'm journaling down my thoughts. Having good pens and nibs do make this practice more fun, I must say. This is my daughter playing at the playground, and I'm just drawing her as she's doing the slides over and over again. Well, instead of looking at my phone, I felt that was more productive if I spend the time drawing. And I came away with this. And this one it looks like I used the white color pencil to go over my ink lines and my color to create to knock back the contrast, so it looks like a fade out effect. That's quite a nice touch. I might try to use that again. So it's a watercolor combined with color pencils and ink lines. This is an urban sketch at the food center, just looking around. There are cars parked outside. This was fellow lecturers at the university, Tia and David. After the class, I went somewhere to sit down, unwind, and just sketch. So there you go. Well, that was just one sketchbook among so many others. I'll show you another one another time. So thanks for watching.